Hi, welcome. I'm Seqkat from Seqkatslightenjoyment.com, and today we're going to talk about freedom, busting into our freedom. And the type of freedom I'm talking about is the freedom to gain your desires and be living the life that you want to live. Because one of the biggest issues that we have that blocks us from living the life we want to have and living in our desires are structures and paradigms, old beliefs that are holding us back. There's been put into our programming, so to speak, since we've been a little child. It's come from so many ways, from society, from growing up in whoever raised you, and a lot of times it's just what was passed down to them, they passed on to others, being in schools as well. So in the tiniest, minutest ways, and there's so many of those tiniest, minutest ways, we are programmed with so many things that can cause us to believe that we can't live our desires. We'll use a small little example from the age group I come from. I was pushed, if you want to live your dreams, you have to go to college. It's the only way you can get your dreams. You've got to go to college. You've got to get that edge. You've got to get over the competition. So that belief instills me, belief was being instilled in me as a young child. If I don't go to college, I won't be able to do what I want, and I won't be able to make the money I want, only if I go to college. So what that did is reiterated over and over again, so my subconscious starts to believe this, and so that's the pattern it buys on. So it blocks out any other strange possible way that money could come in, or a way that could come in that I could be living and doing the service that I want to do, because I've got this programming running me that the only way that you can get this is through this one path. And there's a lot of ways and a gazillion subjects that we've been drilled and instilled in us. There's this one path and nothing else will work. And we'll buy into those paradigms and we'll buy into those beliefs because it's just what we've been learning all along, and we don't know anything different. And any of you that has worked with the law of attraction, we have to work with those beliefs, and we have to open up, and we have to surrender and let go of every which way will block it, and let our higher self, let the universe bring things in, and most often, probably about 99.9% of the time, a most unexpected way that we would have never imagined it could have come in, that we could gather what we want or do what we want. And it just seems unattainable and illogical if we had ever thought about it. There's no way that could ever work. But then when you surrender yourself and let go of those beliefs and start using those affirmations, and the reason why people use those affirmations over and over again is to reaffirm the new belief, to break the programming of the old belief, to allow something to come in. And that's why it comes in and it can almost shock us because it's out of our paradigmal beliefs. So I've been going through the tarot card journey. So the card I'd like to use to represent that today would be the Hierophant, or as the mystical cat tarot calls it, the priest. And upright, it's showing you structures, paradigmal beliefs, working within that system. So this card can come out as a positive card for some people if they are working through beliefs that they've been taught that works well for them. Sometimes you can be taught and have an instilled good belief. Maybe you were taught as a child there's plenty of abundance and there will always be plenty of abundance, and you grow up with that belief, there's plenty of abundance, there's always going to be plenty of abundance, I'll never have any issues, and you always have enough of everything that you ever want. So you have good beliefs. So when you have good beliefs and have those instilled within you and those as your paradigm, those you want to keep. And that's when the card is upright and it works in your favor. Most often, this card is one of few that it's in reverse. It's actually better that it's in reverse because you're breaking paradigmal beliefs. You're breaking structured beliefs. You're breaking beliefs that hold you down, that hold you back, that limit you. They're often referred to as limited beliefs. And it means like you're bursting and busting in to your spiritual freedom. And that spiritual freedom is where you're getting off that one finite path that the ego mind thinks it's the only way you can get something, and just opens all the paths. Because the thing is, Spirit can bring you your heart's desires, because you get your heart's desires from Source. Source planted those heart's desires within you to experience those heart's desires through you, through your unique perspective and personality it gave you. It wants to experience those. But the thing that blocks us from having those experiences and in living that is we won't allow it to come in. It's like source is like, okay, here you go. And that's why what feels like joy and excitement, you're always getting pulled. Let's go this way. Let's go that way. Here's the path. Go this way. That's your heart desire. That's why you're getting tugged that way. But then we're like, oh, but no, I was taught I have to go this way. I have to do it that way. And when we do that, that's what causes us to block the abundance, block the desire, whatever it is we're wanting to live, to come into us. It's actually a non-allowing. So you have the power within you at all times to live your desire, at all times, but we just won't allow it because our mind has been programmed like a computer, seriously, and our egoic personality buys into what has been programmed and starts believing that, and that's what really hinders us and holds us back. So what do we do now that we understand what's going on? How do we burst those beliefs? How do we come into our freedom? And for those of you that are new to the path, number one, the biggest thing to understand is know that those heart's desires of yours are not bad. They're not wrong for you to have. They're not the beginning of all evils. They're not the causes of all your pains. They were planted there by source. The source is fully limited, that has individuated itself in many aspects. How source wants to experience things from you, so that your desires, know that your desires are coming from source and they are good and you are worthy to have them, and you're supposed to be going towards your desires. And it's actually what you came here to do, to move towards your desires, to get into your desires, to be experiencing and living your desires. That is one of the number one things. Coming to realize that and owning that and believing that. And that might be one of your affirmations that you might have to write down and read over and over again. I'm supposed to experience my desires. It's good that I experience my desires. The universe supports me experiencing my desires. I can have my desires. I am experiencing my desires. It's perfectly good for me to experience my desires. These might be the affirmations you need to write down to allow yourself to have the desires. Because one of the biggest blocks you could possibly be having is a guilty feeling, thinking maybe I shouldn't be having my desires. Because think about it, just in school alone, everything you wanted to do. Okay, I want to talk to my friends. And the teacher comes in, no, you've got to be quiet. So the ego starts registering, okay, what I want to do, I can't do because that's upsetting other people. I'm not allowed to do that. I'm going to get in trouble. So it starts making a data list. Every time I want to do something I want to do, no, I can't do that because I'll get in trouble. And you might get in trouble for a parent. You're doing something that you want to do and it's not right. And it happens in the smallest, minutest ways when we're kids and we don't even realize it. It continues to perpetuate in our adult life as well because we're running on that program and we don't even realize it. And the ego's just keeping a data list. Anytime I want to do something, I'm not allowed to do something. That's wrong, that's bad, that's against the law, it's against the rules, it's upsetting somebody, it's going to hurt somebody. This is what starts running in us, and this is one of the biggest ways that we block our desires. So that's a number one way to realize that. Thinking we can't have our desires. Got to change that first belief. And then realize changing those beliefs, finding your negative beliefs, finding your limitation where you feel like you can't have your desires. That's your number two thing you got to do. And you need to erase those beliefs and you need to replace those beliefs with the affirmations, yes, I can have. And you got to test those desires. Are they truly of joy? Are they truly of excitement and passion? What I want to do? Am I bringing my joy to it? Not, if I get this thing, this will make me happy. Because that is coming from a place of lack. And when you're coming from a place of lack, that's not a true desire. And I'll use a simple example that I like to use often, and I'm a cat person, you might hear me do this often. I love cats, okay? So if I desired and wanted to go get a kitten, I'm already excited about it. I'm like, oh boy, I'm going to get a kitten. I have already got joy in getting that kitten. Okay? Where a dog lover, ooh, I love dogs. And they think about getting a dog. Oh boy, I'm getting a little bit puppy. I'm so excited. I'm enjoying about that. Okay? Now let's swap that. Let's take the dog lover and say, hey, you're getting a kitten. They're like, what? Let's take the cat lover who's not into dogs. Oh, what? I'm getting a dog? What? Okay, you see, there's no joy there. So it's not that attaining that thing will bring you the joy. That joy was there first. That's what got you so excited about getting it, because the joy existed first. And that's one of the biggest things. You have to look at your desires. Is there a joy already there? Versus, I'll be happy when I get that car, or I'll be happy when I get that money because I feel such a lack right now because I got a clunker, or I feel such a lack right now because I don't have enough money. If you're coming from a place of lack, then you're trying to fill in a little bit of egoic desire. You may have a little bit of passion desire, and it can be mixed and blended, but you've got to be careful. If you can come into that pure desire because you already have the joy for that subject, whatever it is, and you want to move in that direction because you're excited and passionate about it, then you know you're on the right path. You know then that's the heart desires, and you want to move towards that. So that's the other thing you want to do. You want to identify your desires. Are they really egoic, coming from lack? Are they truly coming from your heart, your higher self, the source within you that wants to enjoy those? Because as you start taking baby steps towards the heart desires, the ones coming from your higher self, I promise you, the universe starts kicking in and starts opening up paths for you to get it. It starts lining up people, and it gets easier and easier with each step you take. Which leads me to the next thing you need to do. You need to take a baby step towards that desire. And then take the next baby step. Because sometimes we look at, oh man, I'm way over here and I want to get over there. That looks huge, gigantic, impossible, and overwhelming. Just take one baby step. And if that baby step today is writing, this is what I want to do, I'm going to go for that. If that's your baby step today, do that. And if your baby step today is, I believe I can have that, and I'm going to write that down, and I'm going to start affirming this belief every day and rereading it. If that's your baby step today, do that, whatever the baby steps are, because as you take one baby step, the universe starts opening things, and it gets easier to take a bigger baby step, and a bigger step, and a bigger step, and the next thing you know, as you keep going and taking these step by steps, you'll find yourself there. And then it wasn't so overwhelming, because we start looking at the path. Gosh, I'm on A, and Z looks miles and miles away. You got to go through each letter. Okay, I can reach B today on A. I can't reach Z. I can't reach X. I can't reach W. But I can reach B. Keep going down the letters and you will get there. And then also remember, this is very important, the joy is in the journey. Going from A to Z. When you have a desire to Z, you are ready to be the person having that desire. And a lot of times our journey from A through Y is preparing you to be the person ready to have that desire. And one is because we have those limited beliefs that are holding us back, telling us we're guilty for having our desire or blocking that desire in a myriad of ways. I'm not worthy of it. I don't have enough of this to have it. I don't have enough of that to have it. I'm going to upset so-and-so to have it. That's what the journey is about, clearing that all out. So by the time you get to Z, you can purely be in joy having your desire. So yeah, that's today's lesson. So busting those paradigm beliefs, coming into your freedom to live in your desires. Okay guys, thank you for being with me today. I really do appreciate that. If you like this video, I really would appreciate a thumbs up. That helps me circulate my video out into the YouTube world to help other people. I really would appreciate that. It helps me. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you. I'm glad to have you. And if you enjoyed our video and would like to join me and subscribe, by all means, hit that subscribe button and join me. I'd love to have you, and hit the bell notifications, because that'll share with you when I'm having my other videos, which will be either next Wednesday when I have another musing to teach you how to just tidbits to get into your joy and live in your joy, or maybe on the first Wednesday where I share a chakra clearing with you, or a Sunday on a tarot reading. So I'll either see you in one of those other places, and until next time, much love and light.